Good morning, boys and girls. Miss Camastro here. How's everyone doing today? Great? Fantastic. I'm great too. Well, today we are going to look at my Jamboard for lesson 13.4. We're going to look at interpreting numerical expressions. We have been working on PEMDAS for about 2 weeks now, orders of operations, and seeing the correct way to solve a multi-step problem. Now, I have set up a little anchor chart over here. I have the word problem on the side, the little chart that goes with it, and we're going to solve this to our best of our ability. All right, so we're going to read over our question more than once because it helps us to understand what's being asked. Then we're going to analyze and evaluate. So, Miss Katz is planning her family trip to the museum. She made a list of expenses. Then she wrote the following expression to show how she can calculate the total cost. 6 times, parentheses, 4 and 20 hundredths, plus 8, plus 12, plus 3 and 50 hundredths. How many people do you think are in the family? How can you tell? And you have a chart here. So let's see if our chart can help us understand what the question is asking. So this chart says museum trip expenses per person. Oh, so I know that the numbers in my expression are dollars. Round trip bus fare, $4.20. Buffet lunch, $8. Entrance fee, $12. And dinosaur lecture, $3.50. So when we look at our chart, we see that these numbers that are used here are actually dollars, which is good to know because we're using decimals with cents. So if I go back and reread my question, right, we use cubes always because we're so smart and we know that because Miss Camastro has been teaching it all year. And even though we're remote learning, we're still really smart and we're still using cubes. Okay. Miss Katz is planning her family's trip to the museum. She made a list of the expenses. An expense is how much something costs or how much you spend on something. Then she wrote the following expression to show how she can calculate the total cost. So this is going to equal to my total cost. How many people, oops, Ms. Camacho does not do well with this. Mouse. Okay. How many people do you think are in the family? How can you tell? So looking at this expression and what I know in my chart right here, this is the museum trip expense per person. So based on this expression, I would say it's fair to say that there are 6 people in her family because when you have an order of operations, so I have 6 times $4.20 plus 8 plus 12 plus 350. Sorry, it's really hard to write on this mouse pad. Okay, that's a decimal. Okay, so this right here is my total per one person. This 6 represents the total in my parentheses, because we do that first, 6 times. All right, let's do this again. So now we need to take my total in my parentheses, add it together because we have 1, 2, 3 addition signs. So we're going to be solving from left to right Or because this is addition, we're going to put this in the proper addition format when we add. And then we're going to times that by 6, because we know when we use order of operations, whatever's in my parentheses is solved first. Okay? So $4.20. Oh my goodness. Let's try to rewrite that a little bit neater. This is not my friend. We have 420. Now, if we have expenses per person as a whole number, so if we have the number 8 and we have the number 12. Now, I know this is adding decimals, which we haven't done in a while. That's a whole number. So that's going in my ones column here. And then we add zeros as our placeholder. We don't want to forget that. Same thing with our 12. It kind of changes our place value. And then I have 350. Sorry, guys. It's really hard to write like this. Can I write it smaller? So let's see if we can rewrite that a little bit smaller so we can fit everything together. $4.20. That's my cost for bus fare. $8, which we know is a whole number because it's an expense, right? It's $1. So it's written like this with the 8 in the ones place. You don't want to forget that because if we put it in this column, it's a decimal. Same thing goes for my $12. The whole number, we want to make sure our place value lines up. And then $3.50. Getting finger cramps, guys. All right, now, since we have all addition, we're going to add them together. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 7. Dot. Oh, not a dot. That's a decimal. 3, 2, 8, and 4. So the best way to do this is 8 plus 2 is 10. Plus 4, 14, 15, 16, 17. Carry my 1. I have $27.20. You're definitely not going to the museum in New York because that's cheaper than it is to get in. So I have $27.20. This is the cost for one person. I'm going to just sticky this out. One person equals $27.20. All right, let's do this. Make a little sticky. We're going to bring that guy right here. I cannot read my handwriting. Oh, good Lord. Beautiful. You know, all this new technology I've been learning at home, man. I feel like I'm a technologist. Is that a real word, guys? A technologist? All right. All right. So now I have $27.20 per person. $27.20 per person. And I'm multiplying that by 6. Right? Because my 6 is over here outside my parentheses next to a multiplication symbol. All right, that looks pretty right. I'm multiplying by a decimal. So I move my baby decimal out 2 times. Because when I solve, I'm putting him back in 2 place values. Okay. So now, can I multiply? Absolutely. All right. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry my 1. 6 times 6, oh, nope. 6 times 7 is 42. Plus 1 is 43. right? 6 times 2, 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So now I have a 5 digits here. No, I don't. I have to put my decimal back in 2 times. So my total cost here is $163.20. So let's do a sticky again because it's easier to write. $163.20 symbol. My total cost for 6 people. Okay. I love Jamboard. You guys can find Jamboard in your Google setup underneath Google Classroom, Google Meet. It's all in there. All right, so let's go back and read my question because we always reread our question to see if it's reasonable and if it makes sense. Miss Katz is planning her family's trip to the museum. She made a list of the expenses. Then she wrote the following expression to show how she can calculate the total cost. 6 times $4.20 plus $8 plus $12 plus $3.50. How many people do you think are in the family and how can you tell? So if we wanted to write this out, okay, the total cost for the trip is $163.20. Okay, right? Let's put a period. There are 6 people in her family. I know this because after we solved the expression in the parentheses, which was the total cost of museum expenses for one person, I multiplied that total by 6, which was outside the parentheses. I knew this was the cost, oh my goodness, of one person because it said it on my chart. Let's enter that, see if it makes sense. The total cost for the trip was $163.20. There are 6 people in her family. I know this because after we solved the expression in the parentheses, which is the total cost of the museum expenses for one person, I multiplied that total by 6, which was outside the parentheses. I knew this was the total of one person because it was inside my chart. Okay, I'm putting that here. And I think, actually, I knew that that is an appropriate explanation, answers all parts of my question. We checked our work, and I think we're getting to be PEMDAS pros. If you have any questions, you could refer back to this, right? You can ask Ms. Camastro questions, and I hope everyone's doing fabulous.